Hello guys, today we are going to discuss about the Philippines mode of communications. What exactly is this? Let's find. There are four topics that we are going to discuss under verbal communication. The first is communication style. Filipinos will try to express their opinions and ideals diplomatically and with humility to avoid appearing arrogant. The tone of voice varies widely by language, dialect, and region.
Ay, my God. Okay naman ikaw. Okay naman.
Indirect communication. Filipinos often communicate indirectly in order to prevent a loss of face in evoking hiya on either side of an exchange. They tend to avoid interrupting others and are more attentive to posture, expression, and tone of voice to draw meaning. Speech is often ambiguous and Filipinos may speak in the passive voice rather than the active to avoid being perceived as speaking harshly. To find the underlying meaning, it is common to check for clarification several times.
May kasama ka ba papunta kina Angelica? Bakit? Kasama ka ba?
Refusals. Since many Filipinos try to save face and avoid hiya in their interactions, many will be overly polite and seldom give a flat no or negative response. When conversing with your Filipino counterpart, try to focus on hints of hesitation, listen to what they say, and also pay close attention to what they don't say. Refusals example. Little kid's refusal to eat kamote Q might result in his mother's refusal to take him out for ice cream after dinner. Respect. When speaking to those who are older or of a higher status, Filipinos tend to use the polite forms of speech. At the end of phrases, sentences, or questions, they will say po to demonstrate this respect for hierarchy. For example, when conversing with an elder or someone of a higher status, one will say salamat po or thank you po.
Maalis na po ako.
Saan ka ba pupunta?
Doon lang po sa bayan.
Kawaan ka ng Diyos.
Nonverbal. Physical contact. Among relatives or friends of the same gender, it is common for Filipinos to walk hand in hand or arm in arm. This is generally done so as a sign of affection, friendship, or if they are shy and would like to someone to accompany them. Filipinos tend to be modest and conservative in their interactions with their significant other and public displays of affections among couples, such as kissing or hugging, is quite uncommon.
Hoy, Rochelle. Di ba anak yan ni Maring Linda? Oo. Oh, ang babata pa. Marurutok na talaga. Sinabi mo pa. Pinugulo ka.
Personal space. When interacting with people they are familiar with, Filipinos tend to prefer standing at arm's length from one another. Around strangers, this distance is farther. However, in public areas like a market or subway, personal space is often limited and pushing is common. Laughter. While Filipinos often laugh in conversations, the meaning of laughter tends to depend on the situations. At times, laughing may indicate happiness or pleasure, while other times it may be used to relieve tension. In some circumstances, laughter is used as an attempt to cover embarrassment. Pointing. Filipinos may point to object by puckering their lips and moving the mouths in the directions they are pointing to. Pointing with the index finger is often understood as an expression of anger.
Hi miss, pwede ba makipagkilala sa'yo?
Ayoko nga. Sino ka ba?
Hi miss, pwede ba makipagkilala sa'yo?
Ayoko nga.
Beckoning. The common way to beckon someone is by gesturing with the hand facing downwards and waving fingers towards oneself. The same gesture that would represent showing in Australia. If a Filipino wants someone's attention, it is common for them to make a sound like psst.
Pre, tara, sabang tayo. Pre, tara.
Filipinos etiquette. Basic etiquette. Filipinos tend to dress modestly, especially when in public. It is expected that the elderly and those of a higher social status are treated with respect. Given large family sizes and typically small living quarters, Filipinos are generally not demanding of privacy. Within one family, possessions are typically thought to be communal and shared. Thus, it is expected to be open about one's position and space. Many Filipinos avoid blasphemy and cursing as it may cause themselves to lose face. Filipinos typically have a relaxed approach towards timekeeping and punctuality. It is common for Filipinos to arrive an hour or 2 hours after the designated time. This is commonly referred to as Filipino time. However, Filipinos will observe punctuality in a formal context such as important business, meetings, appointments, visiting. Do not refer to the woman of the house as hostess, as this has an alternative meaning in the Philippines that is offensive. It is common practice to remove one's shoes before entering someone's home. The host may offer you slippers to wear inside the home. Try to accept any refreshments offered. Refusing them is considered impolite. To display their hospitality, Filipinos will often use their finest crockery and cutlery when they have a visitor. It would be polite to comment on it out of acknowledgement for their efforts. If they're a visitor, Filipinos are reluctant to take the last serving of any shared food served at a meal. If someone is eating and someone's walk past, many Filipinos will offer the person passing by stop and eat. However, this is not a literal offer but rather out of respect. Eating. Nearly all meals are served with rice. If a meal is not served with rice, it is normally not considered a main meal but rather a snack. Many Filipinos eat with their hands or with a spoon and fork. However, they will often try their best to accommodate for their guests by finding suitable cutlery for their guests. It is considered rude to lean on one's arms when present at the dinner table. Filipinos may allow food to go cold before eating as they wish to have all the dishes present on the table before serving. It is common to leave food at the table just in case someone else arrives or is hungry later. Gift giving. Presentation is important, so Filipinos will take considerable effort to make sure their gifts are well presented and wrapped. Filipinos will often put a lot of thought into their gifts and will give sentimental, thoughtful, and/or a practical gifts. Gifts are generally not opened when received. Often one will thank the giver and set the gift aside.